All right, guys, welcome back. So we are doing summative assessment 8.5i, test corrections. Let's look at number 1. So first thing you need to do is look at your answer choice. I'm going to try to start talking about saying that more and more. Look at your answer choices so you know what this is about. Okay, very simply, these are written in y equals mx plus b form. Y equals mx plus b. A total, coefficient, variable, constant. This is the third wheel. This is the number with the variable. Which words did I say to put an x over? Per, each, and every. If you're doing test corrections, you should be writing what I'm writing in red in order to get the 5 points back. I'm going to put an X over these words to illustrate this is what I'm talking about. And I have an each right there, so I know I put an X over it. In this case, the X is actually going to be formed as a K. I'll come back to that. The second thing I tell you to do is put circle your numbers. Okay? Now, in between these two numbers, 8 and 24, is there a word that you think means add or subtract? Look at this. Also pays. Also means more, right? You're adding to it. You're paying 24 plus you're paying 8x. So if I was going to write it this way, it would be y equals 8x plus 24. But in this case, and you can see by your answer choices, they change the y to c, and they change the x to k, and it's c equals 8k plus 24. Do we have an answer choice over here that says 8k plus 24? Which one? B. Bam. Let's look at number 2. All right. Again, first thing I'd like for you to do is just look at your answer choices. That's going to help you indicate, hey, what is this about? What is this about? It's about y equals mx plus b. It's about slope and y-intercept. Slope is here, y-intercept over here. So let's look to see what we have here. If we look back at the graph, here's my y-axis. At what number does the line start on the y-axis? Is that a positive 240 or a negative 240? So I know that my y-intercept is plus 240. Now, the other number that we do not have right now is the slope. We can actually go ahead and write y equals some number times x plus 240. If we look at our answer choices right now, we know that the starting point is plus 240. Which answer should I automatically get rid of? Yeah, it doesn't start at negative 10. It doesn't start at negative 30. That'd be down here. So I got to get rid of those too. Okay. Next, I just got to figure out which slope does match this line. Well, is the line going up or down? It's going down, so I know it's a negative. Both of my slopes are negative, so I got to actually figure out what the number is for slope. If one was positive, one was negative, I got my answer because I know that the line is going down. Okay, so I can always use this point as long as it goes through the corner, so I'm going to choose my y-intercept as 1 point. Now I'm going to go across the line and I'm going to find another point that fits perfectly on the corner of the grid. What type of triangle do you think I'm going to make? Right. I'm going to make a right triangle. I'm going to go on top here and here. I'm going to make my right triangle. Now for the run, it is simply from here to here. Let's look right here. This is 0. What is this number? 300. So what do you think my run's going to be? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is it going to be 6 or is it going to be 300? Nope, it's going to be 300. The run from here to here is measured down here, 0 to 300. You understand? So whenever I say my slope is rise over run, I know that my run is going to be how much? Yeah, it's going to be 300. When I'm doing rise over run, I know that my run is going to be 300. All I need to do is now measure the length of my rise, which goes from here to here. It's 1 box. 1 box on the y-axis is how much? 30. Okay? If you didn't know this, if you have zeros at the end of any fraction, you can cross out the zeros, and it becomes 3 over 30. That's how you reduce it real quick if you didn't know that. 3 over 30. And so if you put that in your calculator, you're going to get 1 over 10. Is that an answer choice? Yes. And also, we know that the line is going down, so the slope is a negative 1/10. It's going to go right there, negative 1/10. Put a box around that. Circle your answer. And you can give yourself 5 points back if you missed that one. Let's look at number 3. First steps. We look at our answer choices and we think, what is this about? Y equals mx plus b. This is about your slope and your y-intercept. Your slope and your y-intercept. Okay? So here are my options for my y-intercepts. Positive 8, negative 2, negative 2, or negative 8. So here are my options over here. I have a negative 2 or a positive 8. Where does this line cross the y-axis? Bam, right there. Negative 2. So which answers should I get rid of? A and D. It can only be one of these two. Now I look at the line and I say to myself, is this line going up or down? Okay, then I go back to my slopes to see if one of them is negative, which it's not. They're both positive. Okay, that's okay. We'll have to actually find the measure of this line. Okay, so I know I can use this line right here, point, and I can use this point right here. And I'm going to give these guys the address because I want to show you the other way that works every time. The slope formula that works every time is y2 minus y1 over
x2 minus x1.
Amen. Put your fraction and your subtract signs in first. We need to have numbers to put in here. Okay? I need the address for the y-intercept right there. 0, comma, negative 2. That's the first point that I'm using. If I keep going on along the line, here's the second point I'm going to be using to find slope. That is 8, comma, 0. That point right there is 8, comma, 0. You have to be able to plot points because you're in the 8th grade. Now, as this guy goes along the line, the first set of points that I came to were these, so I'm going to label these x1 and y1. The second set of points I come to that I've labeled, I'm going to label them x2 and y2. Now I simply come back to my equation. Which one of these 4 numbers is y2?
0.
Get rid of it. Which one of these 3 remaining numbers is y1?
Negative
So I already got my subtract sign in there. This should not be confusing. Now 0 minus a negative 2. Let's get rid of this. Now I simply take my x2, 8, and my 0 and plug those in. And you're going to put this in your calculator. Okay? Now we're going to bring that down here. And that's going to give you 2 over 8, which will be reduced to 1 over 4. Do we have a slope with 1 over 4? Yeah, it's B. And I want you to go ahead and write it. Y equals 1/4 x with a y-intercept of negative 2. While you're writing that, I want you to understand something. Okay, so while you're doing that, look, I just want you to notice something. On the last one, our y-axis and our x-axis, they were labeled not proportional, right? They were just like 10 points and then 100 points or whatever. Let me take you back to that, okay? So these were going up by 30s over here, and these were going up by hundreds over here, okay? So they're not going up left and right by the same amount. But over here, these are going up, this is a simple graph. These are all going up by ones, okay? So as you use slope, which you're going to for the next 4 years, what you need to understand is if the line is flat, kind of like this, that's going to be a fraction. Like 1/2 or 1/4 or 1/8 or 3/4. That's going to be a fraction. A 1, if your x and y are the same, is going to be exactly like that, perfectly 45 degrees. If your x and your y axis are the same unit of measures. Same unit. If it's more than 1, it'll start going like this, like a rocket ship's facing up. So this is 2, 3, 4, 5, and like that. Okay? Just want you to notice that because we need to get better and better at recognizing slope and being able to answer multiple choice answers using what we know. All right, let's look at number 4. Again, look at your answer choices. What is this about? Y equals mx plus b, where m is my slope, b is my y-intercept. Y-intercept. Okay? Now, for the y-intercept, we have to go to when x is what? What are you looking for?
0.
Yeah, we need to go when x is 0. So this is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What's the next one?
0.
0. I'm going to make it happen right there. And I'm going to use my knowledge of patterns. What are these changing by? 3,000. So are they going up by 3,000 or down? Yeah, so if we're going this way, we're adding 3,000. Let's add 3,000 more to figure out what this number is. What's 12,000 plus 3,000? 15,000. So I have a y-intercept of 15,000. Which answer choices should I get rid of? Yeah, bam and bam. There's no way that those can be your y-intercept because this one is when x is 1 is 12,000. That's a dead giveaway. Okay, now I just need to figure out, as x increases, what's happening to y? Is it going up or down? As x increases, what's happening to y? Is it going up or down?
Going down.
It's going down. Okay, so that should be another giveaway right there. If you plot this on a graph, this line is going to be pointing that way. It's going to be pointing down. And so if I look at my answer choices, I think I pretty much know what it is, but we're going to use y2 minus y1 over what?
x2 minus x1.
x2 minus x1. Okay, let's go this way. I'm going to put my fraction with my subtract signs in there, and I'm going to try to make it easy on me, so I'm going to use the last two columns down here, and I'm going to label the 4x1 and its corresponding y value y1. I'm going to label the 5x2 and its corresponding y value y2. So which one of these 4 numbers did I label y2? 0. That goes here. Get rid of it. Y1 is then 3,000. X2 is 5. And X1 is 4. What's 0 minus 3,000? Negative 3,000. 0 minus 3,000 gives you negative 5,000. Make sure you're using your calculators. What is 5 minus 4? What's negative 3,000 over 1? So my slope, y equals negative 3,000 x plus 15,000. That is to say that for every hour that goes by, the number of tickets sold are 3,000. They continue to go until there ain't no more tickets left. Let's look at number 5. All right, look at your answer choices. And we decide, what is this about? Y equals mx plus b. But this time, I don't have a graph and I don't have a table. What words am I going to put an x over? per each and every. So I'm going to skim along here. There's my each. I'm going to circle my numbers. And I'm going to look for what word between these two numbers means to add or subtract. I'm going to say and pay. Both of those. And pay. That means I'm going to add. I'm going to add 100 to 50x. What is 3 plus 2? What's 2 plus 3? It does not matter which way you write it. You could say 50x plus 100. That's the same thing as 100 plus 50x. Are either one of these an answer choice over here? What's the answer? Bam. Cannot be any easier than that. All right, let's look at number 6. Put a box around this right here. It's y equals negative 2x plus 4. What does the plus 4 represent?
Y-intercept.
The y-intercept. So which one of these can we get rid of? A positive 4. It should go through at positive 4. Which ones can we get rid of?
C.
Get rid of C, get rid of D. Only these two lines go through positive 4. Look closely, please. Is this slope a positive or negative slope? You have 2 lines left. Which one goes down from left to right? This question cannot be, so to speak, any easier. All right. Now, speaking of easy, let's talk about 7. Put a box around this guy. Now I know this is about y equals mx plus or minus b in this case. I'm going to hyper focus on this guy right here because I'm going to show you how easy this is. The b is minus 3/4. Now if I'm looking on a table, what do I have to look for when x is what?
0.
When x equals 0. What is its corresponding y value? And what we're looking for is we're looking for a negative 3/4. If I go to look at number 1, do I have an x equals 0 anywhere? How about number 2? I'm going to circle that. How about number 3? How about number 4? Circle that. Look at here. When x equals 0, what is y? Oh, I'm not showing it. When x equals 0, what is y? What are we looking for? It cannot be any easier. Okay. Number 8. What words am I putting an X over? First, I want you to look at your answer choices. So you need to know, even though they've got different letters, no problem. This is about y equals mx plus b. But I can tell by looking at my answer choices, I know that the y is going to be replaced with an f. And what is the b going to be replaced with? A c. I still need my slope, and I still need my y-intercept. Put an X over the word per and circle your numbers. What word between these two numbers means add or subtract?
Hard.
Bam. Put a box around it. You don't need any of these other words. I have 8.75 is the third wheel. It's a positive 8.75. Earned 8.75 plus 1.25 C in this case. Is that an answer choice?
Yes.
Which one? Yes. Bam, right there. Question number 9. Look at options. Look at these options right here. We already know this is about y equals mx plus b. And it is telling you which one has a positive slope and a negative y-intercept. Hence, it should look like this. Y equals positive mx plus, not plus, minus b, because it's a negative y-intercept. Which one of these has a negative y-intercept? 2 and 4. So I can get rid of option 3, and I can get rid of option 1. Doesn't even have a y-intercept. It has a y-intercept of 0. Now we're looking for which one of these two, option 2 or option 4, has a positive slope. Bam. Okay, last one. Look at your answer choices. What is this about? Y equals mx plus b. From a table. To find b, I need to go to when x is what? Circle it. What is y when x is 0?
10.
Plus 10. Which one of these can I get rid of if I have a y-intercept of positive 10?
80.
Get rid of this guy. That one doesn't have it. That has a negative 10. Now my slope is either going to be 1 or 1.3, positive going up. I'm going to label x1, y1, x2, y2. Put your fraction and your subtract signs in first. Let's start putting the numbers in. y2 is 23, y1 is 16.5. x2 is 10, x1 is 5. Let's go ahead and put that in our calculator and figure that out. All right, here we go. Bam, there's my fraction framework. 23 minus 16.5 over 10 minus 5. Enter. Is that one of my answer choices?
Yes.
Y equals 1.3x plus 10. Which one is the answer? C. All right. You're going to get credit plus 5 points for each question you missed. If and only if you wrote this in red. Circle it right here. Put your old grade in your new grade. This is M4. Put a grade change in Canvas if you want your grade to change. If you do not, it'll stay the same. Good luck.